This call is being
Yesterday,
recorded.
yesterday we had the opportunity to go over a folktale, and the sister called in and she had some issues, so I had to get off the phone, get off the line live, and talk with her about the issue. So we got all that worked out. So now we are up and live again, and we are doing the Gye-Nyame journey. Tonight we are joined by Miss Sasha because for some reason I think she think I'm playing with her, but she ain't going to bed. She ain't going to sleep. So I don't know what's going on with that. So hey, we're gonna give her a round of applause with some effort because she really trying to work my nerves, and it takes a lot to work Brother Hatim's nerves. I'm trying this new thing with this Bluetooth speaker over here. Maybe I could do some things with it that I couldn't do for other things. So now class is in session. All right. So now, yesterday I had an opportunity to kind of run through some of the stuff that had been going on with the camp. The camp was a lovely experience, and we are building and adding on to it. And of course, you can participate no matter where you are by joining the journey, whether you purchase a book or whether you get a membership or however you do it. All the funds that you send here will go to support Gye-Nyame Journey and his activities because we got to keep it moving, right? Right? So now, this is what we're asking. Now, this is what I realized while I was on my run because I know y'all like, why you running so much, Brother Hatim? Well, either I could run or I could smoke. You see what I'm saying? So since my kids don't like me smoking all that much, and I like smoking, so I got to find something else to do. So what I have decided to do is smoke rather than I decided to run rather than just smoke. So we just been joined by somebody. Can I ask who just joined us? Okay. She was kind of shy, but that's all good. But anyway, so now what's going on is that in my run, a thought came up, and I constantly bring this up, and I'm gonna use this in the book. But my spiritual brother in Africa used to ask the question, "What is your major?" And I noticed that it's kind of been a shift since I started running because this time I decided to find something to challenge myself. So of course I got into a race. It wasn't even a race. It was the African American male fit and healthy walk. So I ran that, and then sit down. Then next, I just started running, and I started increasing my mileage, and it started getting a little bit easier, and I started looking into my diet, and I started kind of shifting a little bit, cutting down on the sugars. I started adding a lot of healthy fats to my diet, like coconut oil. I'm experimenting with coconut oil, some other type of oils, some nut butters and stuff like that, so that I can increase. I know I'm getting trying to get off the point. Well, anyway, I during the camping trip, like I said, good things happen during the camping trip. During the camping trip, I ran into this thing called Roots and Rocks. You know what I'm saying? There's something, there's an organization that's a trail running organization because I happened to be out on one of the trails during the camp. I took the kids out. So I took the flyer and I came home, I looked it up, and lo and behold, they got a race of 50K. Now, 50K is about 32 miles. Two of them, one in January and one in February. And I run barefoot. So I'm thinking about, well, actually, I'm not thinking about it. I got the money. I'm waiting for the money to get deposited in my account so that I can go and just go on and purchase both the races. I want to be in both the races. And at this point in time, I think I'm going to go for the 50 miler. I mean, the 50 kilometers. I think I'm going to mix this up with a fundraiser because the goal is to kind of pay for as many of these camps that I got coming up as possible to pay, raise some money for Gye-Nyame so that we could do some other activities. You know what I'm saying? Because we got some good ideas coming up. Some of the people are fired up. So we're gonna be doing that, and we'll be talking about those things on our meeting on Saturday. For those that are interested in coming out, hit me up. You can email me at Hatim HA2TIM at Gye-Nyame or you could drop me a note on here on my Google Plus, or even I guess call me on Uber conference and leave me a message on Uber conference. We could build, but the point that I'm trying to get to is this: my dudes used to ask me, and I noticed him asking everybody around him, "What's your major?" And when I got a major in my running, it's easier for me to actually see myself running 50 kilometers now because I made it a major in my life. So now I'm able to get up and I'm able to do 7 miles, and it's nothing now. 8 miles is nothing now. I kind of tapped out at the 12 miler. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to challenge myself to go beyond 12 miles. Then I'm gonna challenge myself to go beyond that. Then I'm gonna challenge myself to go beyond that. And then it's gonna start getting cold. I'm gonna challenge myself to go in the cold beyond what I have already done. To eventually, I'm gonna be able to challenge myself to hit the 32 miles. And by that time, many of you may be supporting me in my efforts, right? So hey, if I get out here and do it, you get out here and do it. That's one of the major reasons I want to do this, because one of the statements in our pledge is I will push past all my self-imposed limitations. Now I want to show people that we have a lot of limitations that we have put on ourselves, right? You know what I'm saying? So in pushing past those limitations, what we do is we force ourselves to grow. So now what I'm saying is it's time to grow, y'all. It's time to get on the journey, and it's time to grow. It's time for us to move ourselves to another level. That's what these shows are about. So today we are on day 65. This means that we have done 65 of these shows up to date. We have done 65 of these shows. We've been pushing through them. We've been working through them. We've been doing the wisdom mining. Some of us been doing the work. Some of us got the book. If you don't have the book, I suggest you get the book. Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes by Hatim Gye-Nyame. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Create Space. You can go to my site, Gye-Nyame-Journey.com, and get it. So, just look for it. If you really want it, you can hit me up. Hatim, HA2TIMGYENY. HA2TIM at Gye-Nyame-Journey.com. GYENYAME Journey.com. My daughter got mad and is going upstairs. She's so hilarious. So dramatic. So dramatic. Let's give her a round of applause. Yeah. I'm going to give her a round of applause. Drama. Hey. So, let's go and sit down. Let's drink up out of our Gye-Nyame cups. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all got y'all Gye-Nyame cups, your Gye-Nyame mugs and stuff like that. Gye-Nyame coffee cups. We're going to sit down, and we're going to sit down and we're going to chop up this folk tale. No, my fault. This proverb. We're on tribal quotes. We're going to look at these quotes real quick, run through them. So here we go. Day 65. Once again, I'm coming from Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes by Hatim Gye-Nyame. That's myself. Those of you that are on Spreaker, if you have comments, if you want to join the show, feel free. Call in at 614-556-4535. If you shy, you don't have to answer me when I ask who it is. I just want to acknowledge everybody that calls here. Hey, just realized that I just came off some road work. I'm still struggling a little bit because I'm still a little bit sore from the accident. But hey, it's all good because I got to push through. Because I got to show you that we can push through our self-imposed limits. Most of the limits you have on yourself are self-imposed. You know what I'm saying? And what you have to do is give yourself permission to move beyond the limits that you have set for yourself, or that you have allowed the world to say. Either you set the limit for yourself, or you allowed the world to convince you that's your limit. And you're stuck right now because the world is telling you that you're stuck and that you shouldn't be able to do the things that you want to do, that you shouldn't be able to enjoy your life. How dare they? How dare you allow them to do that, right? So here we go. Sasha, I need you to quiet down, please. Dig the well before you are thirsty. That's a Chinese proverb. Let's read that one again because that's a good one. Dig the well before you are thirsty. Chinese proverb. A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in the world to his fellows. That's from Muhammad. A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. Muhammad, once again. And last but not least, the child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. That's from Haiti, once again. The child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. From Haiti. Now, those are some good proverbs. We're going to chop them up real quick. You know, somebody join the conversation, make it a little bit more interesting. But if not, I'm going to kick it anyway. So those of you that are on Spreaker that want to join the conversation, hit me up at 614-556-4535, or you could join us on the Google Hangout, because I got the Hangout up. And I also got my Uber conference at 614-556-4535. Feel free to join me. Feel free to sit in the back and just listen. You know, Sasha, come here. I need you for a second. I need you to pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Which one? Pick one. 1, 2, or 3.
1, 2, 3.
Which one you want to pick? 1, 2, or 3. Pick one of these fingers. 1. You won? Okay. So I should say we're going to do number 1. All right, dig the well before you are thirsty. Man, this right here is some simple wisdom. But, yo, many of us overlook this, the simplicity, right? We live according to our wants, not our needs, right? Many of us are doing everything to fulfill our wants. You know what I'm saying? And we're not striving to fulfill our needs until it's absolutely necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's like instead of digging a well for the water, you know, we're spending more time putting the bucket together. Instead of digging the well for the water, we're spending more time looking for cups. Instead of getting the well ready and digging the well, we're getting all of the implements to make the drinking of the water a bigger and better experience. You know what I'm saying? Many of us are dying of thirst in our lives because we have not took the time to dig the well. Many of us are will or are starving to death in our old age because we did not prepare for the old age. This is just basically a proverb telling you to do the things that you can do to get prepared. We know old age is coming. What are you doing to prepare for that? We know death is coming. What are you doing to prepare for that? We know some form of struggle is coming. Some form of suffering is coming. What are you doing to prepare for that? You see what I'm saying? For those of you that are on Gye-Nyame, those of you that are Gye-Nyame on Gye-Nyame journey, we have to start doing things to get ourselves prepared. Once again, this goes back to the wisdom that my older brother dropped on me. What is your major? Many of us are focusing on the minors in our life rather than looking at the majors You know what I'm saying? What is major in your life? What is a need? You see what I'm saying? Many of us are pursuing our minors. Our minors are those wants, are things that we could actually do without. You know what I'm saying? But we're not really focused in on the majors. You know what I'm saying? Many of us fail for the minor, and this is some of the ways that they got my generation to fall for the minors. You don't go to college. You don't really go to college to do what you want to do. You go to college so that you can get a good job, so you can get paid. College is about making more money. Boy, that is laughable now, isn't it? For many of us, that's very laughable. We pursued the minor, which was the money, rather than the passion, which should have been our majors. You know what I'm saying? Many of us are suffering in our life right now because we did not go for our major, the thing that made life worth living. You know what I'm saying? Those things that we really enjoy. Why are you writing on the wall? Get your butt up there and sit on that couch. Don't make me turn this off. Put the pencil down on the table. Excuse me. Many of us are focusing on our minors rather than focusing on our majors. Many of us are thirsty, and now we want to get busy digging a well. But now, because of the thirst, we may die in the process of getting the free water. You understand what I'm saying? So some of y'all out there are thirsty. So I mean, it's like y'all thirsty, and you really don't have to be thirsty. You're thirsty, and your ancestors have left you all that you need. You're thirsty. It's like, I mean, some people are in the midst of a giant fresh water reservoir, and you're floating in the middle of it, and you're dying of thirst because you're so concerned about your wants rather than your actual needs. You understand what I'm saying? Many of you are dying of thirst surrounded by water. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't see the water because you're pursuing your wants rather than dealing with those things that are necessary. Dig the well before you are thirsty, my friend. Take the time now to start getting yourself prepared. Don't build your shield on the battlefield. Don't do that. That's foolishness. That's stupidness. That's unwise. You know what I'm saying? That's unwise. And our people have strove to cultivate wisdom. And we need to start, that's a tradition that we need to bring back. We need to start really, really, really waking up and start learning to use wisdom. We are the oldest people on the planet. And it seems like we acting like we got absolutely no sense in some situations. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, let's start digging our wells. Like, for example, I was listening to, and I posted it up on my Facebook page, Dr. Boyce Watkins did a discussion for free from his Black Well Boot Camp about how to start a business. I think Miss Tracy trying to get on, but she's trying to get on the wrong way. Let me send her the number so she can call in. Those of you that are listening on Spreaker, the number is 614-556-4535. Once again, that's 614-556-4535. Call in and share your wisdom from these proverbs. Share what you think about these proverbs. You never know whose life you may affect. All right? This is Brother High Tim coming at you live with tribal quotes. Now, let's move to number 2. We're just going to do it in order since Sasha picked number 1. Give my girl a round of applause, even though she's tripping. It kind of blew my mind that my little girl was scribbling on the wall. I'm like, hey, I haven't had any kids do that. I guess she really know that she the last one, right? So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna put on some Rashawn Roland Kirk. All right? Nah. We're gonna keep this. I'm gonna put on some Scheme real quick. Y'all check out some old Scheme. All right? This is called Atlas. Why I handle some business real quick. This is Gye-Nyame Journey. This is Brother Hatim. Tribal quotes.
Don't work, you don't eat. You don't work, you're not a man. On my own too, I got to stand. So lots of grams came out of pots and pans. Lots of money seen, lots of hands. Lots of scheming, lots of plans. I grew up with him, not a nigga snitching, no helping him. You're not my fan. Believe nobody was there for me, not a helping hand when I got it down. Got it out the mud, man, I came from the dirt. Now I'm so fly, I don't got a land. Raised poor, but I love my mama. She taught me not to ask for no one help. Got disciplined when I acted up. You know I had to get the belt. Without no father, I was hard-headed. Always getting in the extra. Found out niggas wasn't real out here. These haters faker than a Pegasus. Yeah, I came from the ground up. My name etched in the sediment. You ain't getting it like me. Only get it in excrement. Oh God, I'm gifted and optimistic. My level rising on elevate. I'm so fly, I can levitate. He ain't real, I can tell he fake. Locked up with crooked thieves. I seen a nigga get his self erased, and I ain't trying to go back to that. This nigga wanted me to tell him, hey, the weight of the world on my shoulder, the weight of the world on my shoulder. That's why I'm standing out in the kitchen. Water whipping up over. The weight of the world on my shoulders. The weight of the world on my shoulders. My heart full blood that's frozen. My heart can't get no colder. The weight of the world on my shoulders. The weight of the world on my shoulders. I do this shit for my life familiar. Had all my ballers sold. The weight of the world on my shoulders. The weight of the world on my shoulders. Damn, I can't get up. I was grinding till it's over. The weight of the world on my shoulders. My youth can call me Atlas. Mama's oldest, out of 5, and it's piss stains on our mattress. Got roaches swimming in the bathwater. Guess they want to take a bath too. And I ain't trying to go back to that. So I'ma do what I have to do. Bills coming, rent due. My little cousin had another baby. Loyalty is another statement. I'm too street, my heart beats the concrete. I mean the nigga calculating, no food later. My palpitation, so pussy nigga don't fuck with me. You niggas stand in the way. Waiting niggas see who I am. But are you niggas some type of gay? I don't trust near another nigga. I don't even like to share my plate. But I won't eat to feed my folks. This is how my people straight. I go out my way for. Think about them, even pray for. If you get down or lay down, I'll get down or lay for. My cousin Jesus to my family. Their sins I'm gonna pay for. For my sisters and all my cousins, those I grind every day for. The weight of the world on my shoulders, the weight of the world on my shoulders. That's why I'm standing out in the kitchen. Water whipping up over. The weight of the world on my shoulders. The weight of the world on my shoulders. My heart full blood that's frozen. My heart can't get no colder. The weight of the world on my shoulders. The weight of the world on my shoulders. I do this shit for my life familiar. Had all my ballers sold. The weight of the world on my shoulders. The weight of the world on my shoulders. Damn, I can't give up. I was grinding till it's over.
Class back in session. Give it up for old Scheme with Atlas. The weight of the world on my shoulders. The weight of the world on my shoulders, yo. Hey, that's Brother O Scheme dropping it. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple people calling in, hanging up. I don't know, people playing on the lines and stuff like that. Yo, this is Gye-Nyame Journey. Make sure you join the journey. Check us out at tribe.gyenamejourney.com. Once again, that's tribe.gyenamejourney.com. We got the site up and running. You also can hit us up at gyenamejourney.com and just hit headquarters up on the top left-hand tab up there, yo. So, hey, so we into it. We doing that mining. We doing that wisdom mining. And we got Miss Tracy. Come on. I'm trying to get a pop off here. So now, listen. We're going to get it going. 4535. For those of you that are on Spreaker, you want to join, hit me up at 614-556-4535. That's 614-556-4535. This is Brother Hatem, and this is Gye-Nyame Journey, and we are on. Guess what? No, Miss Tracy. No. Don't get on that way. You gotta call that number. All right. She trying. Hey, we got a call coming in. So there we go. Hit it. Call that number. So now we're about to get it popped off. We're about to drop some wisdom. I'm about to see what's going on with these other callers that's calling in and hanging up. I don't know what's going on. You all right, Sashmash? All right. You're supposed to be in bed, though. Okay. Let's see what's going on. All right. I'm about to hit up this other hangout real quick. I got to hit up my family hangout, see what's going on here. All right. Cause you know these gonna be some good folk tales. I don't want to just go through. I can go through them alone, but hey, you know what I'm saying? It's so much better when we share together. I mean that I like that. That was a rhyme. It's so much better when you share together. You know, it's so much better when you. We got two people on. So who we got? Somebody introduce themselves.
Shekel Mac 10.
What's up, Shekel Mac 10 and Sister Tracy? What's going on?
What's cracking?
What is going on? Hey, we got it popping off. So I gotta send another message to the group, see what's going on. Some of y'all about to call in. Some of y'all call in at 614-556-4535. It's about to go down. Now look, I went through the first folktale. So now let's go and smash these other two because it's kind of late. Brother Hatem is old. I'm getting kind of sleepy, you know. And since Shekel Mac is on, I'm going to play one of his tunes after we do this next one. I got one on my phone. If I was doing my show from the computer. Oh, we got Miss Dr. So Lovely on the line too. We got Miss Tracy. We got Shekel Mac 10. So when we finish this next one, yeah, I know that's Miss Dr. So Lovely because I hear all that in the back. So we're gonna play Judgment Day after we make it through this next proverb. Sasha picked number one. I already did number one, so I'm gonna read it for y'all. If anybody want to drop some wisdom on number one. Yes, you didn't. Sure, you didn't mean to call. You called right on the show, whatever. All right. Somebody's talking about they was at the comedy club. You know, they could have let us hear some comedy, whatever. You know. All right, here we go. So now check this out, y'all. Here we go. Dig the well before you're thirsty. That's the first proverb I went over. Dig the well before you're thirsty. That's a Chinese proverb. Anybody want to drop some insight on that proverb? Or y'all just ready to move on?
Dig the well before you're thirsty. Thirsty is that like being prepared for your thirst.
You got to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait. Don't wait till you're hungry to go shopping. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till you're hungry. You know what I'm saying? In life, a lot of people is waiting around for permission. They're waiting. You know what I'm saying? Rather than doing the things that's necessary to get to where they want. Everybody know that you're gonna have to drink some water. You're gonna have, like, life is. If you was to look at your goal, everybody's gonna have to drink the wine that they squeeze from life. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people is living somebody else's life and filling somebody else's cup up, and wonder how they got cheated as they get older and turn around and find out that their damn cup is empty. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people do. So yeah, you need to be prepared. But it's also saying, like, for example, if you know that old age is gonna come upon you one day, you need to prepare for it today. If you know that you want to be in the music business, you need to prepare for it today. If you know, you know what I'm saying?
Study before you do.
Huh?
Study before you do.
Study before you do. Prepare.
Yeah.
So let's go and look at this next one. All right, those of you in the speaker that you want to join in the show, hit me up at 55614-556-4535. I'm right now I'm joined by Ms. Dark is So Lovely, Shekel, Matt, and Miss Tracy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna be able to hear him on this side. You know what I'm saying? But if you call in, you will be able to hear him. All right? So now, here we go. So I'm going to upload this show, just like I got to upload the other show from last night with me and Miss Dark is So Lovely. I have to go on and upload that part of the show. I haven't uploaded yet because I'm tired and I'm getting into my running. So the second one is, a man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. That's what the Prophet Muhammad. Mm-hmm. All right, who at the club?
I do my fashion wall. They come behind me and do
Circle, where you at?
I'm at the flat.
Who in the background yelling? Somebody back there yelling.
Ain't nobody. Somebody talking, but ain't nobody yelling.
Okay. Your phone is good. Your phone is good. All right, here we go. So a man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. Anybody want to take a shot at that one?
A man is his weight is of his work.
Say again.
His weight is of his work.
His weight is in his work.
His weight is of his work. A man is as he do it.
A man is as he do it. Anybody else?
I was gonna say it speaks to legacy. It speaks to legacy sometimes. Yeah, it speaks to this idea of legacy, how you will be remembered, right? So a lot of times we think in the now, you know, and we're not thinking in it's related to the first proverb that you read, but we think in the now, and sometimes we don't think in the later. And I think that if we thought more deeply about how we will be remembered or how we would like to be remembered and what we will leave here as an artifact to be remembered, then our decisions may look a little different. The choices we make may look a little different. The service that we provide, you know, the types of professions that we choose, those things will look a little different when you start thinking more deeply about your legacy.
All right, we just been joined by the traveler brother D as well, so we want to welcome him to the show. Ms. Tracy, you want to take a shot at it?
No, whatever background I was, I didn't hear the proverb, so I don't.
All right, cool. Once again, the proverb says, "A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows." Hold on, I'm gonna silence these so I can make sure. All right, it says, "A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in this world to his fellows." Can anybody hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to make sure you hear it so that we can make sure. All right. So now, man's true wealth. See, and I'm thinking that this one is talking about people putting their wealth or thinking their wealth is somewhere where it's not. This one is stating that, I mean, basically what Muhammad pointing out here is where the real world economy is. It's about bringing value to others, not just bringing value to things. Not just bringing value to things.
You have to deny yourself.
You say who?
You got to deny yourself.
Sometimes
the proverb that you just mentioned is in the restricted law.
Break it down.
The proverb that you just mentioned is in the restricted law. You got to deny yourself. Your wealth determines your weight in the hereafter. With the good that you do on the good that you do in this world determines your weight in the hereafter, and it depends on what hereafter you're talking about. If you're talking about the physical hereafter, then it's going to determine the treatment that you get in the hereafter.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
so
that's as we speak, that's being ushered in right now.
All right. Anybody else?
I think, well, it's something that I've come across before, but those maybe like religions or people's ways of life who believe in the reincarnation, where the way you act in this life or that life determines how you want to be in the next life. You know, like, okay, well, since you were so mean, you're going to come back as a snake, or, you know, and such that, like, you know, like, just to get to come in as to come in as something bad, you know, say that, you know, well, your last life you must have did something bad, you know. So it sounds like to me the benefits of the results of your character come in the hereafter, like it was just explained before, like in your afterlife.
All right, now I want to stress this. Let me read this again because I think y'all might be hearing hereafter a little bit different because this is not the heaven or this. It says a man's true wealth hereafter. From here on is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. Not in the hereafter. Not a man's wealth in the hereafter. It's a man's wealth hereafter. From now until is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. So I just
kind of like how
it's the benefit of how you treat others, kind of like kind of that sounds more like that sounds more like what goes when it comes along, like you treat the way you treat others, you know, a respect, again, not so much as death. We're not talking about death now, but a respect on your life later, you know. My dad is he's always he had always been a really helpful person. Like, he's not gonna see a woman like broke down on the road needing her tire change, he'll stop, he'll help her, you know what I'm saying? He's always been like that. And I noticed that, but I've also noticed too that he's like just having stuff given to him. Like he had a Lincoln, the car, a Lincoln give it to him. He's had a band give it to him. Just give it to him, you know. And the way I look at that, I reflect back to the what goes around comes around. Like, you know, the good that he put out came back to him. Good came back to him. So that's how it sounds to me. I have something to add on that.
Go at it.
All right, so I agree exactly. I believe that's Miss Tracy speaking. I believe wholeheartedly what she's saying, and I am not well versed in the Bible, I do believe like where she talks about where the Bible, like every book has a theme, right? Has a message that it's wanting to give you, or a reoccurring kind of message, right? All throughout it. And my interpretation, one thing that I get from the Bible is you reap what you sow, or this whole idea of what you give out comes back to you, or what's done in the dark comes in the light. Things like this. It just keeps coming up in the Bible, and I think that it goes back to this idea of energy and of God being energy, or this being, or not even this being, this spirit that we refer to that is actually this energy. And that's why this whole you reap what you sow is so major. It's so major. So anytime you're putting out, that comes back because it's energy. And that's how we are even able to be here in the here and now, is through this energy. The fact that we walk and we're spinning, Earth is constantly rotating, and we don't feel all of that is because of energy. So energy is key in everything we do, and that's why we have to be mindful about that. But I also want to say that when you're saying hereafter, those people who, if we interpret it that way, I don't see why that would be wrong either. Because for me, in my experience with death, I've had so much experience with death. And when I think about my guardian ancestors and the fact that they're gone, but I still feel their guidance and hear their whispers guiding me, I think that that's because in their afterlife, if they did more good, I'm trying to, and this is my own interpretation about how it's going to be determined on how you will spend your eternity. But I feel like if you do more good, more harm than you do good, if you have more positive, you know what I'm saying? That you become you become godlike. That is what happens with your soul. But I believe that there's some people who wreak havoc here on earth, and I don't believe that they get the same response that those other people get. And it's just very simple. Did your good outweigh your bad? Like, did your good outweigh your bad? I've experienced death so many times, but there was one particular time that I experienced death where I was haunted. And it wasn't like this I could feel this negative energy. I could feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was real. And the only thing I could think was that this person's bad outweighed it. And because of that, something else had to happen to their soul in the afterlife that wasn't so pleasant. And this is why they're haunting me. I've lost my mother, my grandparents, foster parents, and none of them haunted me. I could feel their presence, but it was always pleasant. You know what I'm saying? It was right. That extra, that spirit looking over me, that whisper, that voice. You know what I'm saying? It was pleasant. But this particular instance, I was haunted, and that's when I realized that if your good does not outweigh your bad, there is a way that you too will suffer in this afterlife, whatever it is, because our soul is the spirit anyway. Once our flesh is gone, something has to happen with our soul. You know what I'm saying? Something has to happen with our soul. Is it going to is it going to elevate and be that God-like spirit, or is it going to be grounded here?
I got a question. I'm gonna bring it back real quick, but the reason I'm saying, because when I'm reading it, because you got to look on the screen or you got to follow the link to so that you can see it on your phone. It says a man's true wealth hereafter. It don't say a man's true wealth in the hereafter. It says a man's true wealth hereafter. From here on is the good that he does in this world to his fellows. So it sounds as if there's a different standard of wealth being declared. You know what I'm saying? Which goes, I agree with you, which goes to energy, towards energy or that essence, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm spreading this good energy, I'm going to reap this good energy. See, because I for one, is just only my opinion. I don't like the whole. I'm gonna quiet your mic for a minute, baby. Hold on. I'll put you back on in a second. I, for one, don't like the whole idea of focusing on doing things to get in the hereafter or into the hereafter. You know what I'm saying? I believe that we need to live to the fullness here. You know what I'm saying? We need to live by our principles. We need to pull out and exchange that energy, that true economy, that energy between ourselves. Part of the reason our community is not doing good is because we are spreading our wealth to others. A man's true wealth hereafter is the good that he does in the world to his fellows. We're not.
To me, it sounds like
we're not doing
like a legacy.
You say, huh?
To me, it sounds like a legacy.
Right. We're not doing good to our fellows. We're doing good to others. You know what I'm saying? We decide that we're going to do good to others rather than do good to our fellows. And by doing that, we rob ourselves of our wealth. But now, getting back to what sister said, Dark So Lovely, what she said as far as are we going to rise to God's Spirit? I have this question. What if we were never separated from the God's Spirit? What if we are operating in the God's Spirit already?
I believe, okay, so I've already told you my beliefs on this. I believe that because we are wrapped in this flesh, we are separated from the God that is within us. I do believe that we are God. We too create. We create with our words. We procreate by making babies. We have all of the qualities that are spoken of when we
Stop. I'm talking to my daughter.
Yeah, so we have all those qualities. But I will say that I just had a talk with my son, and his thing was, he wants to do the right thing, and I told him something very simple, a guiding principle. Something just to keep in your mind. If you aspire to be righteous, all that other stuff will go by the wayside, and that righteousness in us, the peace in us to do the right thing by others and by ourselves, to really have that moral standing to protect and to advocate for others, your fellows, that is the God in us. That is what is naturally dwelling in us. But however, because of all these other things that are impressed upon us, we get separated from the God in us. We get separated
now, because this is why I love having you on the show. Listen, if God is omnipotent, which means all-knowing, omnipresent in all places at all times, omnipotent, which means all-powerful, how can you be separated from that?
How are you you are separated from that. The way so many of us are separated from this is because our pineal glands have been calcified with foolishness and fuckery.
Wait, stop. Hold on, stop.
I can say the first
Hold on. Hold on. Now, that gland that you're talking about is a physical part of the human body. You just said that we can't connect with God or connect, let's say, with the spirit because we wrap in flesh. But now you're talking about a part of the flesh.
I'm telling you what. I'm telling you what is a bear. What I'm telling you what causes us. The flesh is what causes us to give in to certain things that are not righteous, that are not innately in us. Right? There are certain things that are innately in us, and there are things that have been impressed upon us, that have been used against us, that have been done to us to disconnect us with our God. That is why there's socialization. That is why Europeans are mass manipulators, because they do what they have to do to make sure that we are disconnected with our God, with ourselves, with our higher being. They make sure, and how do they have all kinds of tactics that they use that keep us, and this is why what keeps us from our greatness a lot of times, because we can't even recognize or relate with or be in touch with our inner self, our God, our spiritual side, our spirituality. We're out of touch with that.
Maybe we out of touch with it because we don't believe that it's possible to get it in the flesh. Because a lot of these current religions basically tell you that the flesh is all wrong and you need to destroy the flesh in order to get to it. And if we were to follow a lot of the philosophies that come from a lot of these books and a lot of things that we're being told, you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here, Brother Devin wouldn't be here, Shaka wouldn't be here, Tracy wouldn't be here, the other people that's listening to us online at this point in time. Speaking of that, those who don't want to join the conversation, please hit us up at 614-556-4535. Miss Darky So Lovely is dropping it. You know what I'm saying? And we're having a good conversation. Now, I'm about to turn off the speaker in a second. You know what I'm saying? But I hear you, Miss Darky So Lovely, but it's like I'm not all the way there. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not all the way there because I'm thinking that like like when you told me not to call it white supremacy but call it hegemony. You know what I'm saying? And it's perspective. Hold on. I'm saying that what you're saying is one, it gives the enemy too much power. Because the issue is that we have never been separated from God.
Okay, so let me tell you this. The problem, you said that I'm giving the enemy too much power, and I believe that the problem with us is that we don't give the enemy enough recognition. We can't even see their plan, and that's how we fall into it. So if we don't know that they have devised a plan to keep us from operating on a higher frequency, that we can't operate on the frequency that we were designed to operate on. That this melanin, I mean, we all have down to every blade of grass has melanin. I know this, but I believe that we operate on a different. We grass. Every living thing has melanin. The melanin is the source of all life. It is found in the universe. It is found in us. It is the source of all life.
So what is chlorophyll?
Chlorophyll is something that the grass has that helps it turn sunlight to energy. But it's the chlorophyll. There's no living thing that doesn't have melanin in it. They even found melanin in the universe. So everything.
Wait, time out. See now this is what we get now. What do you mean they found melanin in the universe? I mean, of course they found it in the universe. They got it in our skin. But what do you mean they found it in the universe?
Melanin was found. Melanin was found in some particles that they found in the universe. So I guess when they're going to the moon, and they're studying what they found was melanin exists in the universe. So and that is in us. and that's how I know. That's where I come up with some of my feelings. So, but what I'm thinking about is this frequency that we are designed, that we could possibly, and we have in the past operated on, and that so many of us operate on. So many of us operate on this frequency, and that is why we are the creators. That's why you wouldn't have the things that you have even in America if it wasn't for a creation of a black person, because that's what is naturally. That's natural. We have high doses of this. We operate on a different frequency.
Wait. Time out. We got an abundance of this magic element in our skin and in our body. We have a darker quality that absorbs the sun rays, and you telling me that we can't vibrate at a certain level to
we don't.
Entities who obviously, according to a lot of philosophy out here, is separate from God. How is that possible, baby? I mean, and then on top of that, it's possible to be separate from God. If God is the source of everything, even the devil, and the devil was created by God. If everything else in the universe is connected to the Creator, how are human beings separate from God?
I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you one more time. And this may not be for you. This may be for those listening, and on the internet and elsewhere. I'm speaking to us 3 years from now. I'm speaking to those people who.
Oh, you still in my lines now? You heard us in the line, right? Go ahead.
I'm speaking to us 3 years from now, right? I'm speaking to us 3 years from now, and I am saying that the reason my people are operating on frequencies and doing things that are not of us, that are not the demonstrative of our God, our God-like, our God in us. The reason why we are doing things that just are counterproductive to our progression as a people, part of the reason is because we are not able to operate on the frequency that we were designed and we innately operate on, because there are so many people who seek to control. And the one thing that they know, they have majored and perfected in the art of providing the disconnection amongst us. Let me finish this talk because I'm speaking to the
divine beings.
I'm speaking to the future, but they are deviant. I'm speaking to
I'm asking a question for the future. Are we fighting a divine being?
What?
Are we fighting a divine being? I mean, it can perfect. Do you know what perfected something means?
Okay, so let me tell you this. Maybe, and so maybe they haven't perfected it because I didn't fall for it. But I will tell you this again. I believe this music, this television, the programming, the images, the propaganda, all of these things are to provide disconnection within us. That keeps us from operating on our frequency. Our kids are bombarded with negative energies. Our children are bombarded with negative ideas about them and the people that look like them constantly. There's a reason why you turn on TV to look at Africa and they show you people in the trees and in the huts, but they don't show you in Ghana these people living in mansions. They don't show you people. A lot of these countries look better than U.S. countries. You know what I'm saying? Or look just like them. You would go drop you off in Africa and you wouldn't even know you were there. They don't show those images. There's a reason why. Because this is how they program us. This is how they keep us from our great. It's through socialization. They socialize us.
I hear you, right? I hear you. But you do know I went to Africa.
I know you.
I've been to Africa. I've been to Ghana.
And my girlfriend goes to Ghana frequently.
Right.
My nephew lived in China for 9 years.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I've been there in person. And it's a beautiful place, right? But when I lost my passport, right, I got to see just a couple of hours of the real. You understand what I'm saying? And see, I'm not into fantasy chasing. I'm not into. I like myths. I like folk tales. But I'm not for us to say that. I honestly believe that white people are luckier than they are smart. I honestly believe that Europeans are luckier than they are smart, because some of the times and places they have had their advantage in history was extremely bad luck time for us. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not really looking at them as wise and as intelligent as I'm hearing people say. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like they set up a system that is running roughshod over them too.
I said
running roughshod over their masters. So these individuals. All right, but
you know why it's running? Hold
on. Let's do this. Because I want to get through these proverbs with me and you. Because you already know me and you go and you know what I'm saying? Because I'm on a fat burning diet. You know what I'm saying? And that means that my energy, I'll go. I need to be laying down because I got to get up in the morning. But, hey, let me read the third proverb. Because all I was saying at the beginning was that this is not talking about the hereafter. You got into the hereafter and got into God and to frequency. And that's good. Use a Pisces to your heart. I love that. All right. So, here we go. The last one. The child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. The child that is not crying has no need to be nursed. Anybody want to shoot at that one? No? I think everybody else fell asleep, girl. It's just me and you. But hold on. Hold on. I promised that I would play Shackle's tune called Judgment Day. So I'm gonna play that. And those of you on Spreaker, if you want to join the conversation, hit me up at 614-556-4535. We are chopping it up. We're doing some serious wisdom mining, and we're kind of running over. I'm gonna play this for Shekel because he's on the show. It's called Judgment Day.
With no further delay, let's give him our undivided attention, and let's receive Brother Minister Nuri Muhammad with a warm round of applause.
Come here. I need you to go to bed. Good night. Go upstairs.
Thank you, family. Father, be never since the merciful I bear witness, there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is indeed his messenger. I'd like to greet my brothers and my sisters in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. How's everybody today? All praises are due to Allah. I'm doing well myself, striving in Allah's name to make my word my bond. Thanking Allah to be able to celebrate a Savior's Day. To actually have met a Lord and a Redeemer for the black man and woman in the whole world if they only but understood. And I'm talking about the greatest black man that has ever lived other than God himself, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, Columbus most dangerous up in here for the year 2014. Yeah, Rhyme Life Entertainment. It's got you calling on your teeth. Stomach full of pork chops. Wake up on your senses, getting beat up by my wreck shop. The enemy keeps you scripture from the scripture. Blood to any picture. You put you a devilish way, you got to display. You see the picture, vision it clearly. Maybe you near me, not to hear me. Just private divinely coming from my lot so severely. Rain, snow, hell, and earthquakes. The world will for slavery. Look what you did to me and other black people. Made us to live inferior. Treat us like we ain't equal. Tricked us with Christianity. Taught us about a trinity. Plans to lead us to hell. Blind with no unity. If you and me wanna break these chains, united we stand tall. Let's go, you and Elijah's final call. We will follow his teachings. Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite. White folk gon' pay. For the way she did a black slave, sent the Lord. Their race look be the front page. A lot of devils filling up the grave. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
Nope.
Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
See what's wrong with the way we live it. Crazy spending and fornicating with crazy women. Crazy ignorant, you programmed to make me ignorant. Just sit down, have a seat, homie, and pay attention. BT wants you to see the cars, clothes, and bling. That's what they show you to program you just to want these things. To make it worse, they even show you how to go and get it. Get you a pot and some water, jump on the stove and whip it. Guess you don't understand the reason why you wear a chain. Cause you still enslaved, it's different, yet it's still the same. They blowing up our bills, they poisoning our food. They poisoning our mind, we sick and we ain't got the flu. But you don't got a clue, cause you addicted to Jerry Springer and Dr. Who. Whatever they got for you, killing each other, thinking it's what we gotta do. The end is near, it's coming soon.
Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite. White folks gon' pay. For the way she did a black slave, sent the Lord. Their race look be the front page. A lot of devils filling up the grave. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
Nope.
Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. These last days, they still don't wanna give us reparations, and they still don't wanna offer us the land to build the black nation, so we can show that we started civilization, the first created on earth. Take it for what it's worth. This is God's pussy. Give it, we take it. We use the forward. The real hurt, the power we get, or else it gets worse. Heart will burst. You even got the nerve to want to integrate. Who does that? Sleep with the enemy. That's a food state. Take heed to the lesson sung by Elijah Muhammad. Drop your Christian faith and care Allah. Become Islamic. Believe in His prophet. Believe in the oneness of the Almighty. He's present with a verse of wicked and slimy. Why can't He find me? The time's up. You got 6,000 years. No more blood. You can't stop. The disaster was struck. Y'all should give up. So keep your false preaching. Save us all from your grief, the final call. Listen, Muhammad speak. We don't follow His teachings. Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite. White folk gon' pay. For the way she did a black slave, sent the Lord. Their race look be the front page. A lot of devils filling up the grave. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
Go put those down. Who up there and go. All right, cool. Go.
Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
Of course, y'all know that's Judgment Day by my brother Shekel Mac 10. I don't know how y'all heard it on y'all end, but it's playing clear on Spreaker, but I don't know how y'all heard it yet because I ain't get a chance to go back and listen to it. Could you hear it? It's talking so lovely.
I can hear it.
You heard it clear, or was it?
Yeah, it was clear.
It wasn't as clear. It wasn't as clear as it was the other day when you played the song, but I can hear the words.
All right, cool. So, all right, got me a little message that worked. So here we go. The last proverb. This is called Wisdom Mining. Get your mind warmed up. I hope you got your mental picks together so that you can go on and find the jewels that's laying in these proverbs for you. Those of you that are listening on Spreaker, and those of you that are listening in the future, I want you to take time to go through these. Listen to our discussion, but I want you to look at the proverb and see what you can see. That's a gift to you from the Creator, the ability to define for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I have always stressed everybody that's been with me that you need to be able to think on your own. You know what I'm saying? Because I got an opinion, and I'm flawed. I got flaws. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be perfect, because if I was perfect, life would be boring. You know what I'm saying? So I I strive for certain things. I build. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But I'm always trying to pursue I'm always pursuing my major. As I talked to y'all earlier in this podcast. So we're on to the last one. The child that is not crying has no need to be nursed.
So the way I look at it is those things that you have already mastered and perfected, you don't need to put as much emphasis on them. It's the things that you need to strengthen and get better at.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And so if I already know that I'm a strong speaker, if I don't have to work on speaking, if my listening skills are lacking, that's the child or that within myself that I need to work on.
Because it's crying for help. All right, so wow, I gotta think about this one. How about you, Miss Dark and So Lovely?
I think that I know I've heard this, and it was actually being used. It was actually being used to when I was raising my oldest son. And some I can't remember who it was, but they were giving me examples of how I was ruining him, i.e. spoiling him. And this was the proverb that they shared. And so I guess when you read it, I go back to, thinking about how do we raise our boys? How do we raise our men? And this whole idea, we often hear this criticism of single mothers and how they are blamed for a lot that is going on with our males today. And when we think of, and I'm not trying to offend, but when we think of the homosexual agenda, or what some people might call the epidemic that's going on now with this whole thing with the boys and the feminine, them effeminizing, and they, like I said, they often blame the single mother. And I think that a lot of times we are willing to cater to our children. We are willing to try and protect them and do all these things, but sometimes we just got to let them live. We've got to let them experience, because, life is the best teacher. And if we don't let them have those experiences, then, we ruin them. And so it kind of goes to, if your child is experiencing life and it's not killing them, sometimes you got to let them experience it. And know that when they're screaming out, when they can't take no more, then maybe you step in. But other than that, if it's not killing them, chances are it's helping them.
So I'm going to just say this. That's enough said on that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the show. For those of you on Spreaker, you know what I'm saying, you still can leave your opinions by calling the line at 614-556-4535. Understand that as soon as the line come on, it will start recording. I want to thank my guest. I want to thank Brother Keely Traveler. Excuse me. I want to thank Ms. Dark and So Lovely. I want to thank Shekel Maxine. I want to thank Sister Tracy. I want to encourage everybody to join the journey. Get yourself a Gye-Nyame Journey cup. Get yourself a Gye-Nyame Journey scroll. You know what I'm saying? So you keep notes in class. Coming out with pencils and all that. You know what I'm saying? Just little stuff. And then also be looking out for the sponsorship page that I'm going to create, because I'm looking for sponsors as I embark on hitting this 50 kilometer run. I'm doing it. I want to focus on raising funds for Gye-Nyame so that we can do some camp trips that we got coming up. We also want to do a lecture series as well, so we can bring speakers here. So be on the lookout for that. So this is Brother Hatim. I'm out. Anybody else got any final words?
Start where you at.
Start where you at. All right.
Keep mining for that wisdom.
Keep mining for that wisdom. All right. So I'm gonna upload this and do it tomorrow because I'm sleepy. But y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.